You had great service, military service that we really appreciate, but then you transitioned from uniform service to civilian service. The question is, what do you do with that military time? Should you buy it back or not? And when do you buy that time back? If you've ever wondered the answers to those questions, then stay tuned for this FERS Federal Fact Check. Hi, I'm Micah Shilanski with Plan Your Federal Retirement. And we have a great question that came in from Katie about military service, reserve service, and civilian service. And that's kind of fun to put all of those things together. So let's see what Katie asks. Katie says, hi, I just started federal employment July 1. I served active duty in the Army for 9 years, 2009 to 2018. 2018, joined the reserves, and I'll be going part-time in my federal job this September. Does it make sense to buy back my military time? It would only be 9 years on active duty when I retire from the reserves, but would I still be able to collect my reserve pension and FERS? Does it affect my disability that I receive from the military? Katie, excellent question. You got a lot of moving pieces here. All right. A couple of things. I'm going to throw out some cautionary flags for you. When you get to military buyback, it does get a little bit confusing when we have a guard component. You have this reserve component, which is great. It's a huge benefit for you. If you talk to people that had traditional military service and they're getting a pension, they're going to say, hey, Katie, don't buy it back, right? Because you can't double dip with this retirement. That is a correct statement. Unless you're in the guard or reserves, you get to double dip. So my short answer is, and of course, Katie, I don't know you in your personal situation. What I will say, I have never seen it where it does not make sense to buy back. It could theoretically not make sense to buy back, but I have never run across that ever. So I'm going to guess that it really makes sense for you to buy this back. The way that it would work is you can buy back your 9 years of active duty time, and you need to buy that back right away. Why do I say buy it back right away? If you buy it back within the first 2 years, which is kind of the first three, within the first 2 years of federal service, there's no interest assessed on that time you buy back. You just have to buy back roughly 3% of your base pay. Now, Katie, the great part about this, and by the way, we did a whole guide on how to buy back your military time. So shameless plug for that. Maybe we'll get a link inside of here. Go check that out on kind of the steps and how this works. It'd be a great resource for you. But go and buy it back. So all you got to do is pay back 3% of your base pay. That's not BAH. That's not deployment. That's not all the extras you get, just 3% of your base pay. And all of those 9 years count towards your federal service. Absolutely do that. Otherwise, those 9 years cannot count for your federal service. Now, they will count for your reserve retirement, which is great, but this is where you get to double dip. When you're reserve, you get to buy back that time. You also get to buy back your active duty reserve time, right? 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, et cetera. Any deployment time that you have, those are future things you're probably going to want to buy back as well. And that's going to help increase your federal service, which is always an excellent thing to do. You will still be able to get a reserve retirement. You can talk to your reserve retirement people on how that one is going to work. And does this affect your VA disability that you got from military? Nope, it absolutely does not. You still get that. So the reserve retirement is really that best of the both world, being able to double dip a little bit into that military pension and civilian pension. So I hope this made sense. Go check out that military buyback guide. It's going to give you a breakdown a lot more details than I just did in a couple of minutes and be a great resource for you. If you have questions like this from Katie that come in and says, hey, I got this complex question about my federal benefits, then go ahead and give us a call. Let us know about that. We can either sit down one-on-one and work through this with you, or just leave us a voicemail on your question just like this, and we're going to be able to go ahead and get back to you on this FERS Federal Fact Check. Until next time, happy planning.